Hello Virgo, and welcome back to TenPaths Tarot. Let's just dive right in. The oracle card today was Bountiful Harvest. And this shows a woman who is something akin to Mother Earth. You can see her hair is the land, and the land is fruitful and green and filled with trees and flowers, and her shirt becomes the ocean waves. And the ocean is important to all of us. Not only do we get food from the ocean, but the plants in the ocean give us most of our oxygen. And then we have flowers, which also indicate bounty, fruitfulness. And she is looking at the earth, but also somewhat away. And there is the earth. And so let's see where this takes us. Let's look at the first four cards, which reflects your recent past. Now that recent past can be any time from within the past few months to within the past few years. It will vary depending on the person and their age. And so let's take a look at the first one of those cards. We will be reading from right to left. The first card is the visionary. And a visionary is someone who sees the true path that no one else sees. He has a mynah bird on his shoulder, and it is whispering to him. It is telling him how to proceed, how to become successful. They also label this card as the Knight of Scrolls, with scrolls being our thoughts. So this is someone who wants to take action on their thoughts. The next card is the Wheel of Fortune. And so usually when we think of the Wheel of Fortune, we think of something that is beyond our control. Wherever the fortune lands, that is our path. That is what we win. But the Wheel of Fortune is not as definite as a card like the Tower or the Death card that indicates immediate change, something really shook things up. The Wheel of Fortune can spin and land on any number of things, but what if it lands on something that's terrible? Well, we could spin again, or if this wheel is very heavy, with some effort, we can change its position. So the Wheel of Fortune is sort of in between spiritual control and our control. There may be forces working together there. But in the recent past, this is not how things have been seen. Things have been seen as totally out of control. And here we have the Nine of Scrolls, with scrolls representing our thoughts. They are scattered about. They have collected on the ground. They make us feel like we have been defeated and we are mourning all of the things that these thoughts have told us are amiss or have been a loss. Now we are holding on to one thought. That could be a good thought or a negative thought, and we'll have to progress through the reading to see which way it goes. We're clinging on to one. Along with this accumulation of troubling thoughts is the Ten of Spirals. And so now we're weighted down by wishes and dreams that we want to carry with us. But we don't know which road to take, and we're so loaded down, I don't think we're going to get very far no matter which way we go. And so maybe we have overthought our wishes, dreams, and goals. Sometimes we do have to just move forward, but we can't move forward with too much baggage. And so now let's go into the cards that reflect your current energy. And we will be reading these from left to right. The first card out is the Page of Cups. Let's take a look at that. And here we have someone who is just beginning a new direction. A page doesn't know very much yet. They will become a page and then they will become a knight. He is holding a cup, which represents emotion and love. He has had passions. They have kind of fallen apart, but he isn't focused on that anymore. He is ready to drop that scattered rose. He wants to focus on new love. And when I say love, that could be romantic love, or it could be love in general, sort of an enthusiasm for life. The next card is again someone just starting out. It's a two of pentacles. This is someone who is beginning to feel as though they can handle that daily life. They are juggling things, and it's pretty easy to keep the two in the air at any one time. Now, I think it's interesting here. We're looking at a new outlook. And these two cards are facing in different directions, which means we're seeing things from different perspectives. Also, look at how they're dressed. This one is dressed in bright red. He's kind of flashy, like, look at me. But the pattern on the other individual's clothes looks almost like camouflage. He may be saying it's better not to be seen. And so we've got two that are alike in their youthful exuberance, but we're looking at things from a broader perspective than we were. And so with this new perspective, what happens then? We have the Seven of Swords. And I may let me put up a photograph of this card because it is hard to see when I hold it up because of the darkness of the card. It's hard to see the detail. And so when you look at this card, look at the swords in the background. He is looking behind. He is leaving those in the past. He has something in his hand. He has a jewel in his hand. And that jewel reminds me of this scroll that she has in her hand. So those swords are our old thoughts. Now they're not scattered all over. They're somewhat organized on the wall. And we are looking back at them, but we're leaving them. We know where they are. We know that they're nothing we have to be concerned with. They're not scrambling our mind anymore. And we're taking what's important and we move forward. What progresses from there? Next, we have great progress. We have the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands, with wands representing our hopes and desires, means they're starting to come true. We're starting to see it in ourselves. We're seeing changes. Other people are noticing too. Look at all of the people looking at her and applauding her. We have a bountiful harvest here. There's flowers growing from one of the dreams, one of the desires. Maybe she's narrowed things down a bit. In fact, this was a 10. Now we've gone to a 6. So we have trimmed down our hopes and dreams a little bit into something more manageable, not so overwhelming. And now we're starting to see the progress. And so what brought all of this on? We're back at the Oracle card. And she is looking at that world, and whatever is in that world is being reflected onto her. Here is the land, here is the ocean, and in return, she reflects that back to the world. This could be advice to be careful about what you allow to be reflected onto you. If you know that you tend to get very depressed and very anxious, then you might want to, for instance, monitor what type of information you're pulling in from the world. I know our culture can dump tons of bad, troubling, scary information on you. But the fact is, you're not in control of all of that. You can help here and there, but just taking on all of that anxiety and then you reflect that back, you're adding to the problem. And so we want to keep that balance. We don't want to be oblivious, but we also need to monitor ourselves. How do we feel inside? Do you feel that troubling heartbeat? Do you feel your muscles tensing? That's a clue to put aside what isn't important and take that jewel. Leave those other thoughts behind. Take what's important and continue moving ahead. When you move ahead in a positive way, that's what reflects onto the world. That's what we want of you. We want you to be happy. We want you to be successful. Everyone who is happy, successful, feels confident that they can achieve things and contribute to the world, lends to the world. And that's all I have to say. That's all Spirit gave me today. I enjoyed being with you, Virgo, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.